Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships, and in this video I'm gonna be giving you guys a guide of getting either the Blyskawica 52 or Blyskawica the tier 8 version 44, and will explain you the salvage for victory event. As you can see, we have these two ships in that event, the Blyskawica 52, which has the epic rare tag associated with it, and also the Blyskawica 44, which I do have in my port. So in this video I will try to explain, is it worth it to get these two ships, because we have the first Blyskawica 44, which I will show you quickly in the armory, and will explain you how to obtain this ship in the best way or form from your hard-earned resources. And yes, you have to spend a lot of resources to get either of these two ships. So if you're looking forward to get the Blyskawica 44, it's gonna be costing you significantly less. But if you want to get the bigger brother, the Blyskawica 52, well, it's gonna cost you a lot. And in this video, I will also gonna explain you the reasons why I personally not going to spend my resources, even though I have absolutely shit ton of resources to spend on Blyskawica 52. But I will give you the main reasons, the biggest reasons why you should really not spend. But it's up to you. I will give you all the ways that even if you want to get it, I will show you the path. If you do not want to get it and want to get a reason from my side why you should not get it, this video will explain. So let's go into the armory and check out this thing. And by the way, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit a like, subscribe, because I make daily World of Warship videos, and I try to tell every single guy a solution of their problem if they have one in the comment section. So this is something that you can get the best from the content creator who has been playing this game for over 8 years. So let's go into the armory and let's see what this whole thing is about. So as you can see, you can access this salvage for victory event either in the featured section or also in this tab. You click on it and it will lead you to this whole thing where you have to spend a lot of resources. Unfortunately, it is crazy expensive to get the Blyskawica 52, but it is relatively okay to get the tier 8 version. But unfortunately, in my opinion, I have played the tier 8 version a bit and it seems to be not so good. You can go and watch out other YouTubers or streamers about the Blyskawica 44 if you want to get this ship, but still, it's okay-ish. But Blyskawica 52 is actually good, and that is where Wargaming has put a lot of cost. Now, in order to get the Blyskawica 44, you have to complete 20% of the progress, and if you want to buy the Blyskawica 52, you have to complete 85% of the progress. Now, if you really want to get Blyskawica 52, well, you have to spend a lot. Now, in this case, I don't have a lot of premium time, but if I really allocate tons of resources, you will see here, I probably can spend slightly more. If I would have enough premium time, I have only 396 days of premium time, but you can apply more, and well, 1% of the progress bar can only be filled by 18 days of premium time. So you can basically fill up to 30% with the help of the premium time only. So there are some limitations, like the 30 days of the 30% of the coverage can be done by the premium time. You can do insane amount of spending research points, which you can do. It's gonna cost you a lot. I will try to explain. If you want to complete the 85% bar by just simply using the research points, well, let me just show you with the help of the calculation. So to just simply get this ship by research points and completing that 85% progress bar, you have to spend 127,000 research points, which is pretty insane. This is equivalent to the cost, it's almost equivalent to the cost of 2 tier 10 research point ships. Like, you can buy literally the Ohio and Slava for buying this one tier 9, and also, by the way, you can also get the tier 8, because if I show you the progression bar, you are also going to get the Blyskawica 44 along the way. That is true, and also some camouflages like aura farming and this one. So you will be getting the camouflages and Blyskawica 44 during the completion of this full 85% progression bar to get the Blyskawica 52 as well. So you will be getting everything alongside with the ship and some camos, but you have to spend 127 whatever that amount of research points, which again, now totally up to you if you want to spend. I personally will not spend it, and I will explain you the reasons later why you should not. There are some good reasons that I have that might really convince you. If you have a lot of resources in general, you might be tempted to spend, but I might convince you enough that you should not. If you want to spend only steel, like in the case of research points, well, you have to spend almost 64,000 steel, which again leads to 2 steel ships if you can buy them in the armory. Like for example, the Sevilla, you can buy the Mecklenburg, you can buy 2 steel ships without using a coupon. That's literally they're asking you for buying the 2 ships, the Blyskawica 44 and the Blyskawica 52 with that camos. So again, I think the worst thing that you can do is to spend steel on these ships. Like, this is the worst thing. Now I know there might be some, like, I don't know, very like 0.0001% of the player base that might have insane amount of steel, but I think the steel is super valuable, and you will be getting more steel ships in the future. It's unlike coal, that we have seen a breakage or a stop, a halt by Wargaming, that they are not adding new ships. For coal, we're still seeing the research point ships getting added, we're still seeing the steel ships getting added. So spending steel will be terrible unless you have like crazy amount of steel or you are just a collector. It is the most unvaluable thing that you can do just for collection, because I will give you the reasons later on, don't worry about it, why as a collector you can actually wait and get this ship later on. And also you can spend a lot of elite commander XP, up to 30% progression bar, so you can allocate all. In this case I can do this right now because I do have tons of elite commander XP. You will get the Blyskawica, the Blyskawica 44 and the Blyskawica 44 with a camo. And then you have to spend maybe premium time. For example, in this case, if I do this, I will be able to fill up the progression bar quite a lot. If I complete the steel, like, that is insane, right? This is how much you have to spend. You have to spend a lot of resources, right? Let me just reset quickly. So here's the simple math. The progress bar for Blyskawica 52 plus 44, if you want to get both of these ships, you need 85% progress bar. Let me just edit that. 85% progress bar required, and the progress bar for only getting Blyskawica 44, well, you need 20%. So if we do the simple math, you can divide your resources into these ways. So if you do have tons of premium time, for example, if you have like 540 days and more, like crazy amount of premium time, what you will do, you spend all of that premium time to get the 30% progress bar. And now if you do have also a lot of elite commander XP, you spend 11 million, over 11 million elite commander XP, which also gonna leads you to spend or at least get 30% of the progress bar. That is 30 plus 30, 60%, and then you will have remaining, that is 25%, which will be slightly more than 30,000 research points to get for yourself the Blyskawica 52 and 44 both at the same time to complete that progress bar. So that is totally up to you. You can make the combinations. If you, for example, having tons of research points, now you only spend 90,000 research points, which is still pretty absurd. Everything is absurd about this whole thing. It is designed for players like me, players like the veterans who've been playing for more than 5 years. This is something that you should really know. The players who've been spending a lot of money, a lot of things, they have hold a lot of resources in their accounts. They want to just reduce that, I would say, overall holding power and giving you something else in return for that. So that's why they have created this whole design. And that's why you can make the combination of 90,000 research points, which leads you to get 60% progression bar. And you can also do the combination of, I would say, 540 days of premium time. If you get the 60% progression bar, it's going to be less than 540 days. So these are the combinations that you can, I hope, understand that that's gonna support you in your favor, and you will be able to complete and get these ships. Now, in the case of only Blyskawica 44, if you want to get this ship, for example, which I would say is a very mediocre tier 8 ship, I will explain the reason for why Blyskawica 52 is not that interesting to me. There are something about this ship that makes it, unique, but still I personally won't buy it. I will give you the reason why. But Blyskawica 44 is definitely a mediocre ship. And well, to simply get this ship, you have to spend 30,000 research points. Or I would say 360 days of premium time. It's 540 days because you have 30% progress bar. But if you reduce that to 360 days of premium time, you will get 20% progress bar. So 1 year of premium time will give you Blyskawica 44. And well, some elite commander XP, it's in the middle of 8 to 9 or whatever. You will be spending at least quite some resources to get this ship. So I would say it's pretty much not worth it. And let me explain you the reason why I personally do not want to buy the Blyskawica 52. So as you can see, we are in the shiptool.st section. We have 3 ships to compare, okay? The Blyskawica 52 itself, the Kitakaze, which is the Japanese, actually having the same caliber guns. By the way, Blyskawica 52, if you look at the guns, well, they perform pretty similar like those of Japanese, but having significantly worse reload time. So Kitakaze have 3 seconds of reload time on 8 of the guns. Blyskawica also have 8 guns, almost similar caliber, 102, 100 millimeter caliber, but they do perform same, have similar range. Even I would say the HE shells flight time is pretty similar. Kitakaze and Blyskawica 52, fire chance is slightly better in Blyskawica, but again, you must remember that your DPM is overall worse because your reload time is not good, 4.2 seconds base. And then we have the Tech 3 Tier 9 destroyer, the European destroyer, the Lambros Ketonis, that by the way have smoke, have better HE/DPM, better shell velocity. If you look at the shell velocity, it has 7.3 seconds of flight time, which means, and also the fire chance is just through the roof. At least compared to the Kitakaze, it's double. And also compared to the Blyskawica 52, it's pretty much double as well. Yes, the reload time might be higher, but even then your DPM is pretty good. And I would say for that much guns, 3.3 seconds of reload time is still very good. You have a lot of fires per minute compared to both of these ships. If you can look at the fires per minute, you do have better fire per minute in the Lambros Ketonis. So Ketonis seems to be pretty good, right? The only thing that Blyskawica 52 gets is the radar, but the Ketonis also gets it. And having even extra radar, Blyskawica has less radar, okay? You have 4 speed boost. Yes, they last for only 90 seconds, but Blyskawica 52 does not have access to the longer duration French speed boost. So everything about the Blyskawica goes down to the heels. So it's a different version of Ketonis, but having Kitakaze guns, that is something that you can really compare it, sort of. And even though the Blyskawica 52 gets access to AP, look at the AP DPM. It is only 194,000 AP DPM, which is still worse than the Ketonis 218k HE DPM. So AP is not certainly going to do wonders. The Kitakaze has superior AP DPM. That tells a lot. So the AP is not so much strong enough even compared to Kitakaze, and even the DPM HE numbers compared to the Ketonis. So these are the reasons why the ship only feels like that you get access to the heel and having, well, the radar. Well, the thing about the Blyskawica 52 is that it has access to French superstructure. Now that is something that it is definitely going for, but again the problem is the Kitakaze having more HP, the Ketonis have base 20,300 HP. So if we really take that French saturation into account, like in the case of Blyskawica 52, if we really take less damage, maybe I would say if its HP is 16,200, maybe its practical HP would be like 21,000, slightly better than Ketonis upon taking damage, something like that. Which means that the base HP is so low, it kind of balances out that French saturation, does not make it necessarily good compared to the Ketonis. I hope you understand what I meant by that. So your HP with the French saturation, you can kind of calculate it around I would say maybe 21 or 22,000. That is the HP that you get in Blyskawica 52. With the help of French saturation, you take less damage because of that. And then your concealment, if you look at the concealment, well, there are obviously some advantages in Blyskawica 52. The Ketonis obviously have worse concealment. That is somewhere that I felt that the Blyskawica 52 is pretty good. Your detection by air is also not good, but you do have the smoke and you can still be able to do well against carriers. You have only 1 extra knot speed higher compared to the Ketonis. So Ketonis, to me, seems to be very, very good because you do have a lot of radar, you do have a lot of speed boost, you have more speed boost, and you have access to smoke. So, and you can still open water when you need to, and you can still smoke up when you have some issues farming without smoke, which Blyskawica 52 can't. The only thing Blyskawica 52 gets is the Kitakaze guns, and that having the penetration which is 30 millimeter. So yes, this will increase the DP. I would say the numbers. What you call it? Penetration damage against cruisers. That's what I would say. But still, it's worse than Kitakaze. Kitakaze will be doing better overall because of your better DPM. So that is the reason why the Blyskawica 52 seems to be, compared to, you have already pretty decent counterparts. The Ketonis, the Kitakaze, you play these ships and you will be pretty much satisfied. You do not need a ship with a heal and having no smoke. You just get the alternate version, the Ketonis, which is attack tree for free, completely free, and you have, by the way, less torpedoes as well. Like, if we even take a look at the torpedoes, you have a lot of torpedoes, okay? They deal pretty decent damage. The Bliska only have 3 tops that deal 19,000 damage. And Kitakaze can, have the torpedo reload booster. It can just dish out so many tops. So torpedo performance-wise, Kitakaze and Ketonis are superior. There's just no way of saying this. Look at the torpedo DPM. Look at the DPM of the Kitakaze, and look at the DPM of Lambros Ketonis. Yes, the range might be slightly worse, but it's not crazy better, and the DPM is so bad that usually the value of tops is going to be super low. So unfortunately, these are the reasons why I'm not going to be picking Blyskawica 52. Now I have gone into the Reddit section to check out the players' response to this event. And as you can see, the guy literally said, which have the highest, I would say, karma. Am I reading that right? 3.75k commander XP is only 1%, which is definitely pretty insane. In my opinion, this is way overpriced, okay? And well, there's a good guy who have made the comparison, which I would also like to see. So in a way, this is more expensive than a Kitakami. Back then, when you needed 192,000 research points to get a tier 6, a tier 7, which is the Ili, and I think the Ferruccio. These were 2 ships that we have gotten as a tier 6 and tier 7, and also 2 tier 10s. One of them which was the defense, which right now available for coal. So yeah, which means, well, that ship might come back at some point in future, right? The Blyskawica 52. And you do not need to necessarily spend that much for a ship that, does feel okay in comparison to Kitakaze and Ketonis. So it's not like super powerful compared to them, right? And it can also potentially come back, like the case of the defense. So you can see, you need 192,000 research points, okay? For getting all of these ships, even the Kitakami one, even the defense one. And now we're getting for 2 ships that much research points. Now that is totally up to you. I mean, that is ridiculous. Wargaming definitely increased. Like, look at this. This time it's 127k research point to get a tier 8 and a tier 9. So 7,500 research points per tier. So they have upped the bar significantly. They have increased the bar significantly. I don't know. This seems to be looking very expensive, and I will not buy it. If you want to buy it, you can go it. It's definitely for veteran players. You can see here, if I cared about the ship, I would be pretty upset about the salvage yard. But honestly, salvage yards are always a shitty deal. That's the reality. So I would say it's a, mediocre event. This is my personal opinion. You can definitely agree or disagree with that. I think that it's way too overpriced, and one should not spend that much resources, even though you might have one. I have given you a very clear comparison that Alcatonis seems to be pretty good. It can fight really well against the Blyskawica 52, or the Kitakaze can do the same thing as well. So Blyskawica 52 doesn't feel like super special. Like, it does not have that oomph quality which I would have hoped for to spend that much resources. Because if they would have done that, it would have become overpowered. Whereas we still have these numbers in comparison to the Kitakaze and Ketonis. So that's why it's not super special for me. And that's why I haven't bought this ship. Now that's totally up to you if you want to do it. Maybe for the Blyskawica 44, if you want to spend some resources like 30,000 research points, you can let me know in the comments. I have given you the guide, the idea, how to spend your resources. Now it's up to you. And you can always let me know in the comments, what do you think about this event? And should you buy this? If you have bought this, let me know in the comments and I will definitely gonna reply. Thank you for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.